What did you make of yesterday's sort of fiasco surrounding, the communication of the vaccine mandate for cross-border truckers? And how many of them have already hit the road and are now in that gray zone?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on your show today. What did I make of I think the fiasco is a good way to put it. Frustrating, confusing. Left a lot of people with their heads spinning. We had a meeting with government officials Wednesday afternoon where they were explaining what was going to happen at the border effective midnight tonight. We provided all that information to our members in the industry, and then at 10 o'clock at night, the news was leaked out that apparently Canadian drivers returning that were unvaccinated weren't going to have to quarantine. And then, as you know, 16 hours later, they changed their mind about changing their mind and said the message come out in error. So, and normally they reach out to us. And the disturbing part was these two communications happened, and there was no outreach to industry on this. We found out the same way that everybody else did. So it was very concerning. It led to a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration. And one of the things that has really happened out of this because of this error message is during that 16-hour window when government put out the statement and said returning Canadians won't have to quarantine, some drivers were dispatched. We have a supply chain shortage. We have a driver shortage. There was loads that needed to be covered. Unvaccinated drivers have been delivering loads since March of 2020 because as essential workers, they've always been able to go. So when this announcement came out, some of them were dispatched, and 16 hours later, the government does an about-face, and now we have drivers out on the road that when they return are going to have to quarantine, and they also have to get a PCR test within 72 hours of arriving at the border. And they didn't know about this till late yesterday afternoon. So it's been very confusing, very troublesome, and very frustrating.
Okay, so how many truckers, Mr. Millian, are we talking about? And, so how many days will they have to quarantine? Do you even know that?
We do know that. We had a meeting with the government at 1 o'clock this afternoon where they went over a lot of the protocols that were going to have to be followed. First of all, how many unvaccinated truckers were dispatched out yesterday? I honestly can't answer that. We received emails and calls from 4 or 5 of our members who said they dispatched a driver out, but to give you a concrete number, I can't tell you. But no matter how many are out there, what's going to happen is when they arrive at the border, they have to quarantine for 14 days because if they arrive after midnight tonight, because there's no longer an exemption for an essential worker. So the issue is going to be when they left, they didn't know they had to do this. And if they knew they were going to have to do that, they wouldn't have left. Now they're going to lose 2 weeks' paycheck. Plus they have to find a PCR test.
And,
Go ahead, sorry.
And so what has the government, have you, since this sort of snafu happened with the communication, have you had communication with the government? What are they telling you about sort of these truckers that fell in the cracks, so to speak?
Basically too bad. It is what it is. It's kind of frustrating. We had a meeting this afternoon.
Nice.
We've asked for these drivers to be exempted that were sent out in that 16-hour window, and we were told it can't happen. The public health order doesn't allow for an exemption. When these drivers return, they are going to have to quarantine. They're supposed to use the ArriveCan app. They're supposed to have a PCR test. Now, they've asked officers to use discretion when it comes to fining them when they return if they don't have a PCR test or haven't used the ArriveCan app. But they don't have discretion when it comes to the quarantine order. And they can't quarantine in their trucks. So.
Oh, they can't quarantine in their trucks. So that's quite a situation. So let me ask you about the cargo. So while they're stuck in a quarantine, what happens to the cargo they're carrying? Does it get delivered?
Yes, so we did get some clarification on that. They put a partial exemption in place where when the driver arrives at the border, they're going to be given detailed instructions. They will be allowed to continue on to deliver the load that they've brought into Canada following strict public health measures. And once that load is delivered, then they immediately are going to have to transport to their place of quarantine. If that place of quarantines their home and they delivered in Alberta and they live in Ontario, they will be allowed to drive legally within the hours of service regulations, empty from their last delivery point in Alberta to their home, and then finish their quarantine period there.
Well, that's quite a situation, difficult situation right now. And what that will do to the supply chain is a conversation probably we'll be having in a couple of weeks. Mike Millian, president of the Private Motor Truck Council of Canada, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thanks for having me on.